WrestleMania is nearly upon us. Hey everyone, this is Neo Reality Entertainment. These are my thoughts on the Road to WrestleMania build-up. Man, with the whole roster crippled by injuries with the loss of guys like John Cena, who I really don't give a care about, Seth Rollins, Sting, Cesaro, Luke Harper, almost The Miz. Let's see, who else got injured? Hold on. Randy Orton, Neville, Nikki Bella, and Tyson Kidd. Like, they all suffered injury. Bryan had to retire due to concussion reasons. Kidd might be forced to retire soon. And Sting is kind of on the up and up on that. Nikki Bella, well, she's currently healing, but she's not scheduled to be at WrestleMania. And is also featured a lot of crippling issues with WWE pushing Roman Reigns, which I will get to in a minute because I have a lot to say to the people who hate Roman Reigns' guts. Man. This is also the first WrestleMania that will be for free to new subscribers at no additional cost. So this is going to be, yeah. So with a crippled roster and all that, and like, how are they going to sell out 100,000 people to break the record? I really don't think so. And considering Vince thinks we're a pack of idiots, I'm gonna say, even though you have a good card, mostly, I'll get to that in a bit. You deserve to fail at this, Vince. You don't deserve to break the indoor attendance record. You don't deserve that. You've lost that right when you insulted our intelligence for God knows how many years, and you want this record like it's like you're expecting us we be abused and we be okay. We'll give you what you want. Nah, we're not gonna help you sell out the stadium. Like, you got 85,000 people in that stadium, but you don't have the one that breaks the record, which is over 100,000. Which the NBA broke. So good luck with that. You still have over 20,000 seats empty. Shame. So let's get to the build-up. There's apparently going to be 3 to 4 matches on the pre-show, which is a static, which is basically getting rid of all the less important stuff. So the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You hear that? Nothing? Yeah, because that's the build-up. It's nothing. Like, they had like one build-up, which was Big Show giving a speech how he will never be Andre the Giant, and that's it. Like, you can also put in the Social Outcast attacking him, Kane coming out to help him, and then attacking Big Show. But really, that's not really surprising. Goldust, R-Truth, Darren Young, Connor, Victor, Jack Swagger, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, which I'm just going to ask, why the hell is he here in this match? He should have been in the ladder match instead of Sin Cara and Damien Sandow. Okay, now, I'm just going to say there's no build-up here, so basically there's no incentive to care. So what a way to honor Andre the Giant. Clearly shows WWE likes to give you the big middle finger. And some people even kept arguing, oh, they should rename it to the Ultimate Warrior Award since Memorial Battle Royal, since the Ultimate Warrior died and all that happened back around WrestleMania 30. And considering how Cesaro was pushed afterwards, yeah, it kind of indicated that it didn't mean anything. Like, you don't get this big push, you don't get this big legacy. But I looked at it and like, okay, this could still work. Now, Damien Sandow is most likely going to win WrestleMania 31's Battle Royal. Let's just see how this works. You son of a bitch, Vince. You give it to Big Show. Big Show. Like, if this was his last match, then okay. But it wasn't. He's still wrestling. Fuck you. So, yeah. So then I was like, okay, this could somehow, a little bit, be salvaged, okay? Like, okay, give the award to Mark Henry. That's my prediction. I want Mark Henry to win the Battle Royale. Mostly because he has said over and over that this will be his last WrestleMania. And I said, okay, let him win the Battle Royale. Like, that's the only way this is going to work now. Like, it should go out to, like, the Battle Royal should be like a coming out party or a Hello World moment. Cesaro got his Hello World moment at WrestleMania 30. Big Show should have gotten his going out party. So basically, Mark Henry should be having his going out party, where he wins gets a big WrestleMania moment, albeit on the kickoff show, and yeah, that goes ahead and they give it to him, and we're good on that. He gets to retire, has a big accomplishment, gets a WrestleMania moment, and he hasn't really been relevant since 2011. Sad. What happened to the Hall of Pain, man? And like in kind of early 2012, but that's pretty much it. So, like, that's pretty much it for the Battle Royale. There was little build up. I gave you my hope that Mark Henry should win, since this is going to be his last WrestleMania, as he keeps saying. So, and I feel like that's the right choice. And they really need to salvage what's left of this, because it's not working so far. Let's get to the Usos and the Dudley Boyz. The Dudley Boyz turned heel. That's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They powerbombed the Usos through tables, and that somehow warrants a match at WrestleMania. That's the stupidest one. That's the second stupidest one, at least. Getting into someone's face, oh, that's warranting WrestleMania. That's warranting a match. That's warranting a feud. I'm looking at you, Cena and Rusev. What have you done to Rusev, man? Okay. So the Usos and the Dudley Boyz, they had so-and-so interactions, and they didn't really interact much. They interacted mostly on SmackDown, but even then, that wasn't really much. So we didn't get really much of a build-up, and all the promo time that the Dudley Boyz had, they were mostly just saying, you ain't never going to see these tables again. So that's pretty much it. They don't address the Usos. Like, they call them out once, but they said, you're not here, so let's just skip this. So, yeah. The Usos, Dudley Boyz, I don't really care who wins this match. It's just going to be, okay, they're just going to do this. Like, they should have should have been a triangular ladder TLC match. That would have been awesome. But no, Dudley thinks we're too stupid for that. Number 3, the Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde. Okay, if this was just Brie Bella versus Lana, then that would have been an okay build. But then it just grew for some reason, adding Paige, Natalya, Alicia Fox, and I'll get to the last one in a second. Then added Naomi, Tamina, Emma, and Summer Rae, and they're part of the kickoff show. If this was just Lana and Brie Bella, then okay, yeah, you got a match. It's just a singles match. Who cares? But then it just had all these other women involved, and I'm like, where are they contributing? They're not doing any build up. In fact, you put them on main event, a show that no one watches anymore, because on the WWE Network it takes weeks for it to come out, and I don't think it airs on TV anymore, except overseas. So really, no one's gonna know. Wait, when did these girls get together? Like, I know the Total Divas got together, specifically Brie Bella, Paige, and Alicia Fox, but not Natalya, and lastly Eva Marie, who I'm wondering is, why is she here? Like, she was on a roll in NXT. She was the most hated diva on NXT. Correction. Yeah, she's a diva. She's not a woman wrestler. And I'm wondering, why is she here and why is she your face? Like, she's better suited as a villain. Everything about her screams villain. Just like Roman Reigns, but like I said, I'll get to that in a minute. And, yeah, and then why is Emma here? In fact, wait a second. Why is Lana and Summer Rae teaming up? Don't they hate each other? Oh, no, but they addressed it on Raw, that means it's clearly okay. They say, the commentators, for some godly reason, say, oh, Lana and Summer Rae, oh yeah, they hate each other. We're not going to mention why, because that was the stupidest storyline since Twilight. And it makes Anakin and Padme look subtle. Ugh, that was horrible. But Lana and Summer Rae see opportunity out of this, so they're partners. Get used to it. And as Coulter says, wrestling fans are one of the most loyalist fans you could ever hope to find till you slap them in the face. And to me that felt like a slap in the face moment. And Eva Marie, like I said, why is she here? What is she contributing? Like, she was booed when she returned. Like, if they had established her as a heel, then that booze would have been justified. But now it just feels like just beat her up. Just pound on her. Clearly, it's her fault. Like, she has all the power. She's like John Cena, even though she hasn't been here for very long. She's been in NXT mostly since for a couple of while, for a year, maybe 2 years so far. Man, are we hating this girl because we don't like her, or are we hating her because she's representing WWE's model? And I still remember how she broke down in tears report because of the Hatred guy, and she was supposed to be a face or a tween. I don't know. They never really established that in NXT, and I was like, okay, I don't like her as a wrestler, but come on, can you let up? Especially the death threats part. Like, she really got death threats on that. So, and Emma is like, she had a match with Paige, was it? Yeah, it was Paige. And Emma surprisingly won. And I'm surprised they let Emma be a heel on the main roster, whereas I'm pretty sure they would have turned her face like they turned Eva Marie face, despite how in NXT she's the most hated diva on there. She's partnered with Nia Jax. I hope this is a one-off. Please, for God's sakes, let this be a one-off. And Eva Marie turns heel in the match and turns on Team Yolo Divas and let Team Bad and Blonde win. And Lana gets the pinfall. That's most likely what's going to happen. So my money's on Team Bad and Blonde. And that's pretty much it for the build-up there. And now let's get to the final rumored pre-show match. Kalisto versus Ryback. Okay, I'm going to go on a brief tangent here about Ryback. Why is he wearing a Goldberg-like outfit? Like, really? Why is he wearing a Goldberg outfit? Shouldn't he be wearing his spandex and whatnot? Not wearing Goldberg outfit? Like, that wasn't going to clear anything up. Like, that's going to make people say, oh yeah, they're trying to make him like Goldberg. If this was him mocking Goldberg and they were building up to a Goldberg Ryback match, then that would have actually been good. But now they are building to a Kalisto Ryback match, and Ryback goes ahead, cuts a promo on Kalisto saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have a partner. You're a U.S. champion. You should start going out on your own." Kalisto isn't like that. Blah 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 blah. No one really cares. Everyone's just saying Goldberg, Gilbert, and whatnot. Not Ryback or Feed Me More anymore. Like, Judgment Ryback was finally getting his identity, and they just took it away from him. Kalisto was getting over with the fans, and then just, oh, we don't care anymore. We're not really making him focus with the U.S. title. It's a one-off deal. I'm raising my middle finger at Vince right now. Now let's get to the official showing. The New Day versus the League of Nations. Who the fuck cares about that feud? Like, the New Day, like, I like their promos. Like, the League of Nations had one beatdown on them, and that's pretty much it. They've lost every single match. So what's the point in carrying and treating them like a legitimate threat to the New Day? And this is not even going to be for the tag team titles this time. It's just going to be a battle for supremacy. And when I think of the battle for supremacy, I'm thinking the Wyatt family and the Shield. The New Day and the League of Nations aren't that. They can never be the Wyatts and the Shield. Man, those were good times. Might make a video about that first match. Man, it was awesome. But the New Day in League of Nations, like, he turned the New Day face, and then Jonathan Coachman kind of came into the party, and then he announced something big for ESPN and WrestleMania, so Yeah, that overshadowed it. And the New Day kept winning all their matches against the League of Nations. So how are you going to take the League of Nations as a threat? And the New Day's promos as faces, they're kind of stale for me. Like, okay, Bootio's got over. Now they have a cereal brand. Really, really happened. So I just can't really. They were better as heels to me because they had a lot of material to work with them. But when it comes to being faces, they're very restricted unless you want to be booked like Cena and everyone hates him. And well, that's pretty much it. Like, there's not really much incentive to watch this match. Like, I'm pretty sure the New Day's gonna win. They're still the tag team champions. Like, the match should have been Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy to fight the New Day in a Battle for Supremacy tag team match. Like, that would have been a great pop for Enzo and Cassidy, along with what's her face. Man, I keep forgetting her name. Yeah, I kind of forgot her name. I haven't been watching NXT in a while. I just look on Bleacher Report for the grades and just get the quick footnotes since really I don't really focus on tapings and I'm already spoiled of it. So yeah, but I do know they're cool. I did watch them back when NXT was in its golden age. So it should have been that, and the New Day loses the tag team titles to them, and then they get promoted to the main roster. That should have been the plan, but no. That would mean more NXT guys have to come in, and that means Kevin Dunn has to be butthurt about it, so he bitched to Vince and said no. Most likely, I'm pretty sure that's the scenario that happened. And let's see, we have the ladder match featuring Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler versus Zack Ryder versus Sin Cara versus The Miz versus Stardust. Originally, Sin Cara and Zack Ryder weren't supposed to be in this match. Neville got hurt. So they decided to add Zack Ryder and Sin Cara. This really says, yeah, our main roster has been horribly depleted. Like, really? You couldn't use Tyler Breeze? Like, you saw him as Intercontinental Champion material. Well, this is the same management that said we don't see Sami Zayn as World Champion material, but we see him as Intercontinental title material. I mean, like, it's not like he's over with the fans like Daniel Bryan. Oh, we fucked up big time. I sense an Olay movement happening. So the build up just came out of nowhere for Stardust, Sin Cara, and Zack Ryder. Originally was just gonna have Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, and Neville, and maybe another guy, but that was pretty much it. And then they got hurt. Like, I originally thought it was gonna be Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Y2J, and AJ Styles. Like, that would have made more sense to me. Like, oh, Chris Jericho wants to prove himself again by winning the Intercontinental title for the 10th time. AJ Styles has a beef with Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn has a beef with Kevin Owens. Dolph Ziggler has a beef with Kevin Owens. The Miz has a beef with Kevin Owens. And Neville has a beef with Kevin Owens, but Neville got hurt. That should have been the plan. They could have saved a match for later, and we probably don't want to see AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho again. Like, that should have been the plan, but instead we get this, and this is mostly going to be a big spot fest in my opinion. Like, we got Sami Zayn, Ziggler, and The Miz and Kevin Owens to do the heavy lifting. Zack Ryder's probably going to do an underdog moment. Sin Cara is just there. Stardust is just there. Like, if this was last year's Stardust, then that would make more sense, but it's not. He's been relegated to nothing. So there's not really much build up going on here. This lasted for 2 weeks. Not really much build up. In fact, a lot of the build up kind of stopped halfway to make way for Roadblock. And, well, you see how that turned out. Just Triple H and Dean Ambrose was the highlight. Must I also mention the Wyatt family's not part of the show? Because they're not. That's... wow. Just... wow. The Wyatt family's not part of the show. That is the biggest fuck you moment, in my opinion. Like, I know the Wyatt family's been buried and buried and buried and buried and buried and buried by incompetent booking. They haven't won a true feud since the ECW guys. Or if you count Bray Wyatt only, he hasn't won a straight feud since Dean Ambrose last year, early in January. That is sad. So, to hear that they're not part of the show is disappointing, and I'm pretty sure Bray Wyatt's gonna be pissed. And I'm pretty sure Bray Wyatt in real life is pissed about this. Like, he's pissed off that they saved Brock Lesnar for later. So, yeah, and originally, I'm pretty sure the plan, if they changed it to Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose, I'm pretty sure the plan was going to be Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt if the injury had lasted just 4 months, but it lasted a little longer. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Bray Wyatt's going to have Randy Orton a bit for a little bit. Then they move on to Roman Reigns, and then they move on to Brock Lesnar, and then Bray Wyatt hopefully gets over on these matches. Well, except for the Roman Reigns part, but that's for another day. And back to the ladder match. Sorry for going on that tangent. But yeah, this is just gonna be a big spot fest. I don't know. I really don't know who's gonna win this match. Like, I want Kevin Owens to win because he's cool, because he just won the title. But I want Sami Zayn to win. But however, if I see him win that, then WWE's gonna say, "Well, he peaked. Nothing more for him. This is how high he's gonna go." Dolph Ziggler. Okay, Dolph Ziggler. Zack Ryder, he deserves a Mania moment after being buried by Cena again because creative hates him because he was over organically. The Miz, okay, he's just entertaining. Sin Cara and Stardust, don't really give a care. That's the brutal truth. And that's pretty much it for the ladder match. Oh, one more thing. I was pissed off last night with the 6-man tag team match they had. It's not because of the fact the audience booed it, even though I thought the match was okay. It's the fact how it ended. Why the fuck did WWE say, there's a feud between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has never been Kevin Owens here in the WWE. Well, let's just sell it all off on Raw. This should have been saved for pay-per-view. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they could have had a Tommy Dreamer versus Raven ECW kind of moment. Like, Kevin Owens always wins the matches, Sami Zayn always loses, and then they finally save it for a big WrestleMania moment or a SummerSlam moment, and Kevin Owens loses to Sami Zayn by pinfall. No, big money. We don't like that. We don't like big potential there. Let's just throw it away on Raw, which I thought was the stupidest idea they could have done. They could have done a disqualification. They could have let someone else do the fall. But since Kevin Owens was a jerk and Miz and Stardust walked out on him, they just said, fuck it, let's just do this. Money wasted. Yeah, like, if they do a singles match again, it's going to be cool, but it's not going to capture that magic it could have gotten, since we already know it happened. Why bother? Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. This is actually one of the better build-ups. Like, with Brock Lesnar taking part-time schedules, Dean Ambrose having to carry the load, though he didn't really carry much since, well, he had to deal with Triple H for Roadblock, and we all know how that turned out. Like, the match was great, but the rest of the show sucked. And with Shane McMahon and The Undertaker on part-time status, Triple H doing long-winded promos that was not as fun as Vince McMahon was back in 2000, and Roman Reigns being out of action for a number of weeks. Yeah, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks had the better build-up. That's to say something. Like, it's not even your main event. And Charlotte is playing the egotistical heel, once again with Ric Flair at her side, and I'm like, Ric Flair, if you just want to come out of retirement, just say it, because to me, it just feels like Ric Flair's trying to capture his glory days. Like, I know he doesn't want to overshadow his daughter, but it just comes across like he just wants to be part of the ring again. He wants to be in the wrestling again. And he can't escape that. Like, it's a poison to him. He wants it so badly, but he has to use his daughter for it. And that's sad to me a bit. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, they've been given a lot of material, promo time, and it kind of ended confusingly at the build-up on Raw, where Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks just shoved each other because one crashed into the other on SmackDown, and I'm like, okay. Why? I'm like, you knew it was an accident. Why did you start arguing? Like, I get you're going to fight each other, but your common enemy is Charlotte. Like, take Charlotte out, then it'd be you two. And also take out Ric Flair because he likes to get more physically involved in the ring lately. So, they could have done that, but no. So, Charlotte has played the arrogant heel. Sasha Banks is the boss of NXT and WWE. She's pretty much the tween in this feud. And Becky Lynch is the clear face, and Charlotte's the heel. Like Sasha Banks, it just felt like she's in the middle of all of it. And Becky Lynch is the face, Charlotte playing the heel, Sasha Banks in the middle. Like, people want to cheer for her, people want to boo her, blah, 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 blah. Like, are we supposed to boo her? Are we supposed to cheer for her? Like, it was clear cut before, now it's not. Like, that's the one confusing part I had for it. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks had the best build-up. Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar are originally going to be Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar, and then they wrecked it with Roadblock. I'm still pissed on that. Nothing more to say. So Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, they had a pretty good build. It wasn't as great as the Divas Triple Threat match. Oh wait, sorry, the women's wrestling match. But it's going to be a no-holds-barred street fight. Dean Ambrose has had conversations with Mick Foley, given the barbed wire baseball bat. Also, as Mick Foley called it, Barbie. Terry Funk showed up for the first time in how many years? It's been, 2006? Was that the last time he showed up? I think so. Yeah. He hasn't shown up on Monday Night Raw in over 10 years, or WWE as a whole. He just showed up for ECW One Night Stand in 2006, and that was pretty much it. And he gave Dean Ambrose a chainsaw. I'm trying to wonder. I don't think that's a good idea to give the Lunatic Fringe a chainsaw. But he gave him a chainsaw anyway, so, well, there's no chance of logic there. So, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar just stands there, looks intimidating. Paul Heyman does his voice. Dean Ambrose comes out with a wagon, takes weapons into it. And I'm trying to wonder, who's the idiot that put the chainsaw under the ring? Like, seriously, who put the chainsaw under the ring? Just for convenience for Dean Ambrose to take it? Like, a barbed wire bat, that's kind of pushing it. But the chainsaw is a death weapon. They're not really going to use it. The barbed wire baseball bat, they could use. Though, with the PG era being politically correct, I don't see that happening again. So, don't expect Barbie and Chainsaw Charlie's weapon of destruction show up at WrestleMania, no matter how many times they hint at it. Because, well, the chainsaw is a death sentence, and I'm surprised they let them get away with it back then. And the barbed wire baseball bat, WWE's too politically correct for that. And that's my favorite part about this feud. It's when Paul Heyman went out on Monday Night Raw and called out the politically incorrect audience for not calling what they were weapons, and they just say kendo sticks and blah 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 blah. Just call them weapons. That's what I've been saying. Just call them weapons. Oh, you mean they're gonna use the weapons? Like, that makes the sentence really short. And I loved it. Like, Paul Heyman called out the politically incorrect crowd. Like, that's really what they should be called. How they're overly sensitive. And think of the children. The children. Even though there have been children that play Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty. They were in the Attitude Era. They flipped the bird at times. One kid drove a car to school and crashed it. Because he played Grand Theft Auto. Wow! That was a long time ago. Almost 12 years ago. Seriously, check it out. So, yeah, and someone on Bleacher Report told me it was called the pussification of America kind of moment, where the politically correct crowd kept making sensitive statements, overly sensitive statements, on stuff that really should not have been a problem, because it's been around for decades, it's going to be around for decades more, and really, that's pretty much the reality of the situation. So Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, they have a chance to steal the show, but I'll get to which matches will steal the show in a bit. Now let's get to the logic painfully insulted Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. Okay, so after the big hype was died down, the Shane McMahon surprise return, I'm just saying I was surprised. I didn't see it coming. Like, I heard there was going to be a surprise, but I didn't know who. At the last minute, I never thought it was going to be Shane McMahon, as I explained in my video. And coincidentally, I didn't say this, but I should have. I was watching a Shane McMahon match from 2000 on the WWE Network, and he shows up on Raw the same night. Wow! Talking about timing. Timing! And, well, Shane McMahon and The Undertaker, they have pretty much the most logic-insulting feud I've ever seen. And I've seen the Rusev love square moments. Mostly because, why is The Undertaker serving Vince McMahon once again? Why is Shane McMahon back all of a sudden? Why have they installed logic on certain moments? Why didn't Shane do this previously? Why are they rehashing the Invasion storyline pretty much? Why are they rehashing the Power Struggle pretty much? Why are they rehashing all this stuff and not giving a clear explanation for it? The answer is I don't know. And you want to know how this could have been resolved? I have two scenarios off the top of my head. The corporate ministry could have helped explain a lot of things. And the second one, while Shane has established his reasonings, and they have been kind of uncomfortable a little bit, but not too uncomfortable, The Undertaker could have went out on TV, cut a workshoot promo saying that throughout the last 25 years, 26 years, I have been loyal to the WWE. I didn't walk out on them like a whole bunch of other people in the back did for WCW, went for greener pastures with Ted Turner. I've been loyal to Vince McMahon despite our highs and lows. I will forever be loyal to Vince McMahon. He gave me my opportunity and whatnot, and that would have cleared up everything. But no, that would have been too smart. That would have cleared up everything. I even told this to Ryan Delbert of Bleacher Report, and yeah, that could work. And the corporate ministry, they could have rehashed that angle, but no, that's too dark. They don't want to talk about the crucifixion days. For God knows what reason. And Shane McMahon, he kind of made things a little uncomfortable a bit, but not me to be all, oh, I'm hurt, I'm politically offended, censor it. It's just more confusing because they're not making sense of it, where Shane McMahon has pretty much said, yeah, Vince McMahon beat me as a kid. Wow. Dark. Like they didn't say the moment where Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon fought in the ring. They talking about like 40 years of pure mental anguish, physical anguish, psychologically, emotionally scarring moments, and they're not talking about the ring. They're saying, yeah, Vince McMahon abused his children. Okay, if you just want to paint Vince McMahon as the bad guy, just say he's an out-of-touch idiot. Like, you have material there. Oh, wait, you did. Shane McMahon went on for weeks saying, oh, he's out of touch. He doesn't know what the business is anymore. He's lost his mind. He thinks he's God at this point. And, like, Titus O'Neil could have been a strong case for that. In fact, I was surprised the fans didn't lash out on Vince saying, you screw Titus, you screw Titus, you screw Titus, and all that. But yeah, this was the most logic insulting feud I've ever seen. Triple H and Roman Reigns was making more sense. Too bad they didn't build something up, but I'll get to that in a bit. So, Shane McMahon and The Undertaker, they had one more chance. It was Monday Night Raw. They opened the show, which was really exciting. They don't do anything about it. And Vince McMahon, and here is a scenario I saw that I was shaking my head a bit. Like, Vince McMahon called The Undertaker his bitch, confirming that he was right that Shane called The Undertaker Vince's bitch. And also threatened that if Undertaker loses, he will no longer be able to compete at WrestleMania. They weren't crystal clear on that. They said either they keep saying, "Oh, he won't be able to compete at WrestleMania ever again," or "He won't ever compete in the ring ever again." They keep going back and forth on that. Why didn't the Undertaker talk about that? Like, he says it will not be his last, but wouldn't he try to strangle Vince for calling him his bitch? Wow, you have made The Undertaker quite the weakling. Very whipped. Way to go, Vince. Your ego is this big. And Shane McMahon, he just did his classic fall of grace moment. Shane O'Mac style. And the leap of faith. Oh, man. That was awesome. But I would really have loved to have Logic. Now, this match is not going to be the greatest match we've ever seen, most likely. It's probably going to be a good match. But here is what someone said that I have a concern about. If Shane McMahon doesn't do a big bump, a la Mick Foley, then this match will be considered a disaster to a lot of fans because Shane McMahon's taking risks and doing the high-flying maneuvers and doing the high risks. That's in his character. If you strip that away from him, what's his character really? A guy who says I was beaten by my dad? Like, yeah, that's sympathetic, but that's also kind of weird that you're going to make this look like this is real. And the feud's mostly been Vince and Shane McMahon, not really the Undertaker. Like, the Undertaker doesn't gain anything from this. In fact, he loses everything if he competed in this, and he didn't have a say in it. So I think the original plan was going to be Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon, but Vince McMahon went to the hospital and they couldn't clear him. Like, it was reported Vince McMahon went to the hospital. We don't know what for. This was the night before Shane McMahon's return, so I had to assume, oh, he wanted to wrestle at WrestleMania, but nah, they couldn't clear him. So they just went with The Undertaker. So that happened. And let's get to the main event of the evening. Triple H versus Roman Reigns, the most rejected match in recent memory. I'm excited for this match. I have waited 2.5 years for this match. That's why this is the most hyped up match for me. I have waited 2.5 years for this match. I'm like, the build up, it wasn't anything special. I'll get to that in a bit, but I have waited 2.5 years for this match. They said, oh, let's do it at SummerSlam. Oh, we can't do it at SummerSlam. Let's do it at Royal Rumble. Oh, we can't do it at Royal Rumble. Let's do it at WrestleMania 31. Oh, we can't do that at WrestleMania 31. Oh, we could have done it at Fastlane. Nope, we're not going to do that. We got to save him for Sting. So, I have waited for this match for 2.5 years. They have done so many stare downs. They have done pretty much a lot of modes where they came close to fisticuffs. Roman Reigns assaulted him on TLC, which was awesome. Then he won the WWE title and lost to the Triple H at the Royal Rumble a month later. Then the build-up happens. Triple H assaults him. He gets bloodied, even though that was a blood capsule, which begs the question, why don't they do that from now on? Like, it's not real blood. It's the illusion. They could do that from now on, but nah, too violent for kids. Triple H has done well. Roman Reigns, he didn't really do much in this build because he had surgery. Real life surgery because of facial reason, because of a nose reason, which begs the question, why didn't they do that for Fastlane? Like, Roman Reigns didn't really do much for Fastlane. Like, if he just stood around, took a promo from Paul Heyman, and that was pretty much it. Like, he showed up once. Like, they could have had him do surgery after the table incident. Then after that, just make him just stand around, look intimidating, or cut a promo with Paul Heyman. Like, that could have been what he did. And nope, they didn't do that. They said, okay, let's do it. It's WrestleMania season. It's finally WrestleMania month. Let's have him have surgery and rip this build up. Rip this build a new one. And, well, then they took a break for a bit after Triple H's promo on SmackDown, where he now feuded with Dean Ambrose. And I gotta say, Roadblock sucked, except for that match. And a lot of people were saying, oh, Roman Reigns is never going to be able to top Dean Ambrose versus Triple H. Oh, that's pretty much impossible. And I'm like, he got a 4-star match with the Big Show. Yes, he can. I thought he couldn't do it. Even in a weapon-based match. I thought he couldn't do it. Because he's feuded with Big Show so many times. There's no way he can make a big match like that. Make a memorable match that I can stay on the WWE Network and watch over and over again. And he did. I watch that match constantly. Because that match, I would have done nothing different. That match was awesome. It stole the show. I was sad for Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, though. But, yeah. I believe Roman Reigns and Triple H can do it. Now, nothing got real weird a bit after Roadblock. Triple H fought Dolph Ziggler, and I was wondering, wait, why are they giving this away on free TV? Secondly, why is this match happening? And 3, oh wait, now I got it. They're going to say, well, you don't like us? You don't like us pushing Roman Reigns? Well, we're going to punish your homeboy. We're going to punish Dolph Ziggler for it. Very childish management. And of course, Triple H beats him. Nobody cares because everyone saw that coming. And I saw that coming. And people are going to say, oh, Triple H buried him. No. No. Beat someone 2-on-1 is burying unless you're a big monster. Like Brock Lesnar or Braun Strowman. That would make more sense. But Triple H, he's just a normal guy. And he beat Brian Kendrick and some other guy who were the world's longest tag team champions on SmackDown. And he beat them 2-on-1 without any help, without any weapons. That was a burial. The Katie Vick storyline, that was pretty much a burial. Now, Roman Reigns comes out, attacks Triple H, is the silent, imposing badass who doesn't care about anything but the world title and wanting the Triple H's head. This is something people kept clamoring for months and months and months. And what does the audience say about that? Boo! We hate that! We don't want it! And I said this on Bleacher Report, and I got a lot of heat for that. Because they kept accusing me of saying, oh, you're just getting a click, you're just trying to get like farms, a farm-like stuff. Oh, you're just trying to get popular. And I'm like, that wasn't the case. I saw what happened on Raw. Everyone, I do not think for 1 second everyone didn't want the same thing. Then WWE finally delivers it, and you boo. What do you want? Okay. I'm trying to not point out any names. I'm not trying to be all mean here, but I'm defending Reigns a lot because Roman Reigns is one of my favorite guys on the main roster. And I like Daniel Bryan, sue me. Why does everyone hate Reigns? Because he's being pushed by the system. And they all hate that. They want their own guy. They want guys like Sami Zayn to get the opportunity. John Cena was pushed by the system, yet everyone loved it. That was until he started becoming the very thing we didn't want. If it was just Roman Reigns being the typical John Cena-like babyface, because that's a real word for babyface, it's the happy-go-lucky, nicey, good do-gooder, then yeah, I can understand that. But when you start booing him for the very free reason that, oh, it's cool because he's pushed by WWE and he sucks as a wrestler, even though there's reasonable proof and facts that Roman Reigns can do more wrestling moves, they just restrict him, then you don't have an argument, in my opinion. Like, you can make one, but in my view, there is no more argument here. Now it's just looking like, oh, it's just cool. And I've seen someone on Bleach Report, I will not mention his name, constantly commenting, Reigns sucks, Reigns sucks, Reigns sucks, Reigns sucks, Reigns sucks. And, okay, you don't like Reigns. We get that. I accept that. Can you add something more to it? Like, why do you not like him? Why does he suck? Why do you not want him in the main event? Like, it just, and someone defends us saying, oh, he's like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. I am Groot. Really? That what? I was considering making a separate video, but with the build of Triple H and Roman Reigns becoming a disaster, even though the Shane McMahon versus Undertaker one was more of a disaster since there's no logic to it, there's more logic in Triple H and Roman Reigns, but no one's gonna ever admit that. So, what's the problem here? It's Roman Reigns, and everyone hates on this guy. They just pound on him and pound on him and pound on him and pound on him because he's in the main event again. Must I remind you that, and people are going to say, oh, he didn't care. Oh, Brock Lesnar carried him. Big Show carried him. Daniel Bryan carried him. Does everyone just, once again, I'm going to use this, Goldberg versus William Regal. That is carrying. What Roman Reigns does he doesn't get carried. Randy Orton didn't carry him. He held his own. I'm pretty much being the lone wolf here, but I'm defending this guy, and it's kind of sad to see Reigns, who has no power, has no control over his character, has no control over his booking, like John Cena, like Hulk Hogan, like Daniel Bryan had. I'm pretty sure Daniel Bryan had that power, but he was humble about it. Like Shane McMahon has, like The Undertaker has, like Triple H has, and Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman have with their characters. And also Chris Jericho and AJ Styles. The reason why I'm not talking about that match, let me get to that, is because I said in Roadblock, I knew this match was going to happen, and it just looks like Chris Jericho is trying to recapture the glory days of his 30 years old. Like, hey, can you try to act like you're 30 again? But Triple H and Roman Reigns, people have wanted this match for 2.5 years. And they finally give you it, they just don't like the execution of it. And I can understand that, because they wasted 3 weeks to build, and wasted 3 more weeks. Then they kind of botched it with Dolph Ziggler losing, and they could have had Roman Reigns cost Triple H the match, but that would have made more sense. So really, that's not really surprising because that's logic, and WWE doesn't like logic. And I just kind of feel sorry for Reigns. Like, he has no control over his character, has no control over his booking. He's being blamed for someone else's wrongdoing. It's like, say, a bank robbery happens and the police arrest the person who got robbed. Oh, wait, that actually happens in real life because the police are completely competent morons. Like, check out the Make It Sense channel. Like, you can see a video about some kid getting bullied and he gets arrested, and the Boyz get away with it. Like, check out that video. Like, that's really fucked up. But seeing Reigns and Triple H finally get this match, I'm really excited for it. I can't wait for it. But, and it has been reported that Vince might be losing faith in Reigns. And I'm just going to say the same thing. Like I said on Bleacher Report when I posted this news to them, and they had a chance to respond. You let the criminal get away with it and blame the victim. This is not going to help Roman Reigns anyhow. It's just going to make him bitter. Jaded, very bitter. And it kind of shows. Like, the audience demands more, Reigns gave more, and they rejected it because, oh, you're not an indie guy. You're not Daniel Bryan. You're not Dean Ambrose. You're not cool. You're not cool like Kevin Owens. You're just a John Cena clone. Even though they're trying to separate him from John Cena a bit, they're not doing a really good job on that, but they're really trying to separate him from John Cena. And the only way they can do that is do a match. And I'm pretty sure Reigns would get buried. And I'm pretty sure everyone would be cheering for that. I'm not asking you to stop hating Reigns. Like, I'm pretty sure that's next to impossible, but do you really believe it's his fault? Or do you really think it should be management's fault? And some people actually defend this hate on Reigns, saying, "Oh, you see, we boo Reigns because we're really booing at Vince McMahon. Then why not just lash out on Vince? You cheer for Vince. Lash out on him. Why take it out on a guy?" And yes, I know he hasn't really done well in the interviews. He said, "I'm just a guy getting rich. When I'm talking, shut the hell up. I don't know why they hate me." Like, and Reigns actually said it actually helped him. Like, okay, that's actually true because last year I thought it was the most realistic underdog storyline I could get that involved the system trying to push for something and the people not wanting it. And I thought that worked out perfectly. Like, that was really a big highlight for me in 2015 last year earlier. But, yeah. Yeah, then we get to the final week of build-up. Roman Reigns attacks Triple H. Oh, and there's also another opportunity they could have done. Like, Roman Reigns is going so crazy, so mad. He's pissed off at Triple H for costing him a month of his career. He's pissed off that Triple H took his title. He's pissed off at everything. He's pissed off at the fans. He could have beaten everybody up. He could have beaten his cousins up. He could have beaten Mark Henry up, Jack Swagger up. They could have done that. That would have been cool, and that would have made more sense to say, hey, Reigns is pissed off. Reigns has had enough of all this. But they tame him, and I just thought, nah. And then Reigns does a suicide dive pretty much off the top rope and lands in a bunch of heels on the final build-up. And people still chant, "You still suck." Reigns hasn't done that suicide dive since last year. And people still say, "You still suck." I'm really worried about what's going to happen. Like, Roman Reigns no longer does the walk through the crowd thing for safety reasons, and they're also hinting at a heel turn. In fact, on SmackDown, they piped in boos just because people were cheering for him, and that gave me like, are they doing a heel turn for WrestleMania? Like, is he gonna join up with Shane McMahon? Like, that would be interesting, but that would also contradict everything Shane McMahon was doing to take control of the company. So that was pretty much the build-up for WrestleMania. Here are my top matches that will most likely steal the show: Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, Shane McMahon and The Undertaker, and Triple H and Roman Reigns. Yes, I went there. Like, Roman Reigns and Triple H can most likely steal the show. Like, they're going to give it 110%, 150%. Like, Roman Reigns has risen to the occasion when it comes to stealing the show and delivering. Like, I would say the ladder match could steal the show, but it's just gonna be a big spot fest, and it doesn't really have that magic as last time. And also AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, but I don't really see that stealing show. It just kind of looks uncomfortable for me because it just looks like a mid 40-year-old guy trying to capture the glory days of his younger life, like Champer Tantrum Chris Jericho. That only worked because Chris Jericho looked like a young kid, a young punk, and now it just looks like he never grew up. And I know Chris Jericho could be pissed off at this on Twitter if he saw this video. Because Chris Jericho, I had more fun with Chris Jericho lashing out at people on Twitter for fun. And I thought, like, wow, if he saw my video about saying he's just a grown kid, he's just a man child, then he's gonna hate me for a while. Oh, man. So those were my thoughts on WrestleMania. On the WrestleMania build, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for more.